Hey everyone, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Boy, it has been a heck of a year. Thank you for joining me today for this live stream, this live holiday stream. I want to give a big shout out to those of you over on Patreon who have been supporting me. I now have 77 people supporting me on Patreon out of 100. That was kind of my goal, is to get up to 100. If you'd like to help out in any way with Patreon, check the links below. There's going to be a link down there and how you can join. I'll just say Happy New Year to people as they come along. Rich, nice to see you. So also wanted to thank everybody that's purchased a poster from me. I've sold quite a few posters, and I'm very grateful for all the posters that I've sold. You know, and also everybody that's used my Amazon page as a launch point. That's been a big help to me as well. So all those little things, everything adds up. It really does help. And you've seen what you guys out there, hopefully, you know, a few more than, it's only look like about 3 people on right now, but what, you know, you probably saw the thumbnail that I put up. A gentleman over in Finland made that picture of me racing Valentino and Valentino Rossi. I love it, guys. I love that kind of stuff. That's so much fun. Bertrand Vogel. So he also made up another picture that you may have seen if you've been on Facebook at all. Yeah, you possibly have seen that picture. I'll show it to you right now. There it is right there on Cycle World. I love seeing that stuff. Anyway, so speaking of pictures, got a couple other pictures of some fellow riders, other people that have purchased my t-shirts, and I just got to move something out of the way so I can see what I'm doing. And let me show you that. There's a picture of my friend Ogre. Ogre, you look angry. And there's another picture of Steve Linscomb. He's out there. Hey, Ogre, good to see you. Just showed your picture, buddy. Anyway, Steve Linscomb, he was that's one of my t-shirts caught out in the wild. Thanks for wearing it. If you guys have any pictures of any of the swag that I sell, please, by all means, send it my way. Send it to me on my email or through, I'm not sure if you can send it something to me through my Kirk's Motor Rod shop, but maybe, I don't know. If you can't, then I'll just send you my email. You can send it to me that way. You can always post stuff on Facebook. I'll see it on there. So, if you're interested in a shirt, sweatshirt, or any of my other swag, again, just check the links below, and you guys can check that out. That's right, Ogre. I got you. So, one of the things I wanted to share with you guys is a little video that I shot back in 2013. All right, right when I first started this channel. So I started this channel right in 2013. I think it was in February of 2013. And when I started it, one of the things that I realized was happening, so when I got into editing, you get to see all of your verbal tics, all the little stupid stuff that you do. You know, if you say a lot, or if you say or you know, you're hesitating. One of my verbal tics that I had back in 2013 was whenever I would cut a scene, say I'm just working on any bike, and I'm showing showing you guys the procedures on how to work on something. When I would cut a scene and then come back to it, I would say, all right now, or all right then. like that was, you know, like, all right, so I'm gonna get going on this next part, or all right, so I'm gonna do this. So what I did to try to cure myself of that is, before I really got into editing, I gave it to my son to edit, and I told him, I said, find every time I say all right, so put it into a supercut. Guys, I'm going to show you that supercut right now. So enjoy. Hi, my name is Kirk Johnson. I'm the president of the BMW Motorrad Club in Northern Illinois. All right, so now I got everything covered. All right, so down here at the... All right, so, all right, over. All right, so now I'm... All right, so, all right, see. All right, so we're going to tighten this side up. All right, so back of the... All right, so I had to, all right, so in this part... All right, so now this thing... All right, so now I'm going to... All right, so it's, all right. So, all right, so... All right, so... All right, so if you're what... All right, so... All right, next you're good. All right, so... All right, well, all right. All right, that would... All right. All right, so many... All right. All right, so the... All right, so now we're going to take... All right, so... All right, well, you... All right, so we're going to... All right, so I'm just... All right, so I went through... All right, so it's... All right, so it's kind of... All right, so we're going to... All right, we get... All right, so we're going to... All right, so now we... All right, so... All right, so... All right, to get the... All right, another thing... All right, so we get... All right, just for the... All right, I really... All right, all right, so... All right, so I got... All right. All right, so... All right, so now I... All right, in front of my... All right, so I got... All right, so we're on our... All right, so you just... All right, make it... All right, I had to stop the gouting. All right, we're done. All right. All right. So... All right. All right. All right, so that's... All right, that's it. Yeah. So yeah, that pretty much cured me of my all right so habit. I never posted that video till now. I guess it's on a live stream. You guys have seen it. I gotta watch it every once in a while just to remind myself of what not to do. Anyway, you thought I was going to say all right so, but no. Anyway, we'll go on with this little thing. So let's talk a little bit about where we've been and where we're going to go. Like I said, I started this channel back in 2013 as a way to help our club grow, and it has done just that. We've become an international club. We don't have a lot of members. We only got like, I think maybe like 64 members right now, but they are all over the place. We got, of course, a lot of local members, but we also have members from around the world, and always great to see. We now have like around 13,000 subscribers and something like 5 million views. That's really pretty amazing for a guy that's just doing it here in his garage. And I'm very happy with all the things that I've learned as a result of doing these videos. I love doing them, love creating them. I don't really love editing so much, but you know what? That's okay. I still enjoy doing it, and sometimes editing can be fun, especially when you're making like a fun video. What else we got here? So I put out in 2019, I put out like 28 videos, including a few of the live streams. I finished up a couple of project bikes. I finished up the Shark bike, which was an epic project for sure. And those of you guys, if you haven't seen the Shark bike video, I would highly recommend you go back and at least watch the first one, because you get to see what the Shark bike looked like with all of the stickers, and it was a mess. That bike was such a mess, but it really came out nice in the end, and sold it to a nice guy locally. I think he down towards Chicago or something. But anyway, I haven't heard from him since. So hey, if you're watching, and you own Shark bike, let me know how it's working out for you. Also had the other the other one, Flipper. Had Flipper and got that one turned around and wind up selling it to my brother, of all people. But hey, he's enjoying it. He lets me know that he rides it. He hasn't been riding it right now because it's winter time and there's salt on the roads and it's all crap. But hey, what I'm glad that he's riding it too. So I have another LT project that will be coming in the shop. It's located, I've talked about it before, I think, on a live stream. It's sitting down in Victoria, Texas right now. And I've got to figure out how to get it from Victoria to Crystal Lake. I thought it was coming up here as of yesterday. There's a gentleman that works, you know, as a over the road trucker, and he was going to pick it up, but it didn't. Things didn't match up. They didn't work out, and it's not on the way up here yet. Hoping to see it soon. And well, when that comes in, I'm sure I'll make a whole nother host of videos. Also, this bike that's behind me right now, that's just it's just in here for some service. I had to do a final drive on here. I had to change out the final drive because the one that was on there went to hell. And anyway, so that I did make a video on how to change out the final drive on this type of motorcycle. Of course, I haven't posted that yet because it's still sitting on the camera. In fact, you can kind of see the camera right there behind the rear wheel. It's sitting back there along with my studio lighting. So one of the things, let's see what I got here. I've got my cheat sheet, by the way. Well, I've had more work than ever in the shop, you know, since the videos and since I started doing work for others. People have come in from around the country and Canada, and I'm grateful to see them. I'm grateful to have the bikes and the work come in. If you guys want me to work on your bike and you're in the Chicago area, or even if you're not and you wanted to send your bike out here for me to work on it, I'll be glad to do that. Just contact me through my contact page at kirksmotorrod.com, and we'll talk and we'll figure out how to get it here and get you squared away. So one of my resolutions, if I had any, from 2020, I gotta put that right up there, for 2020, is I really want to ride some more. You know, with all the extra work coming in the shop, I wasn't able to ride hardly at all last year. I think I probably rode, I don't know, maybe like 5,000 or 6,000 miles. You know, to some of you that might sound like a lot, but to me that's about 1/3 of my normal, and I really want to get out there and ride some more. So the way I'm going to try to fix that is to take some trips this next year. One of the trips I will be taking this year, God willing, is the MOA trip that is going to be held, the MOA rally. It's going to be held out in Great Falls, Montana. That one comes up in late June. Mercifully, they did not put it right on Father's Day weekend again. A lot of you guys out there reached out to me wanting to know if I was going to go to the rally in Tennessee. Well, since they put it right on Father's Day weekend, and that's one of the few times in the year that I can actually see all my children at one time, yeah, no, I wasn't going to be able to make it to that. But this time, they didn't do that, so I am fully intending on going out to that rally. For those of you who care to go out there, I'll see you out there. I'll probably make a video or two when I'm out there as well. I like to interview the vendors to show off some of their new products and, you know, the new bikes, and, you know, showcase some of the oddball stuff that's out at the rallies. I have a lot of fun doing that stuff. One of the other things that I'm hoping to do in April is go to the what's known as the spring training camp. It used to be called the CCR. It was the Curve Cowboy Reunion, and that is going. That was used to be really just an LT event, and that is going to be held on April the 15th to the 19th of 2020. If you guys want to see some information on that, you can go to ironhorsenc.com. All one word, ironhorsenc. So North Carolina.com. Anyway, you can go there, see what's available. I'm sure that there's links on that site as to, you know, where you can get a room, and I am definitely going to go there. I'd love to meet some of you guys there. I know a lot of guys out there have watched my videos and probably would like to say a few words to me, but hey, I'm definitely, that is one I really want to go to. I'm looking forward to it, and I would encourage you to check out that website, that ironhorsenc.com, and take a look. And there's also one other event coming up in August, which we were invited to. And I say we as a club were invited by a resort up in Michigan, up in Upper Michigan. It is the, I think I got it on my paper here. Just hold on a second. Okay. August 5th to the 9th at the Big Snow Resort in the UP of Michigan. They contacted us and all the clubs within about a 4-state radius of where they are at, and they are going to be hosting the Motorrad Week, the BMW Motorrad Week. Again, it's the 5th to the 9th. They're doing some special promo pricing where you can get, you basically like go there for 2 nights and get the 3rd night free. That should be a lot of fun. I'm kind of looking forward to that one too. It's kind of local for me. I mean, the UP of Michigan it's probably a 6-hour ride from where I live here. Anyway, I'm hoping to do that one. Some of the things that are in store for this year. Well, I'm hoping I'll have that new bike, that next LT. It'll probably need a name. I don't know if it'll be an Ocean name or something else. Maybe I just call it Victoria. That might be a good name for it right off the bat. And I got some more videos. I got a bunch of videos that are on my computer I haven't done editing on. And I still need to get those out there. I'm hoping to get some more videos of some different bikes other than the LT, like the one that's behind me. Some of you guys know that I bought a K1200 GT, a 2007. I've made a few videos. I haven't edited them yet, but it had a bunch of, you know, weird problems with it that I had to address to get the bike working. I really kind of got the bike going like right at the end of the season. So I only put like 1,000 miles on it as kind of a test. I worked out some of the bugs that were in it, and I'm really hoping to be able to put some heavy duty miles on that bike next year. I still have my LT. The LT though, actually, that one's going to be on this lift behind me real soon too, because the last time I was riding it, which was just before Christmas, I took it on a short ride toward the city, and my clutch started slipping. It happens to me too, guys. It's I got a leak in there. I knew that I had a leak. It wasn't the rear main seal. It was actually a transmission leak, but a leak nonetheless, and it finally leaked onto the clutch surface and started to slip on my way down there, and whatever. You know, it still rides. It rides a lot higher RPM right now. So I'll get that in here and get that thing fixed. And but I probably will wind up taking the GT. I'm gonna try to use that one quite a bit next year, and you know, give some opinions on that, maybe a review on that once I own it for a while. That's one of the most popular videos I've done on the channel, is the video that I did on like a perspective for whether you're considering buying an LT or you just bought one. It really, that's one of the most popular ones I did because it was real candid. So I need research on the GT and to be able to say, you know, is this the bike for me? Is it not the bike for me? One thing it is, it's one heck of a lot more powerful than that LT. That's definitely a great bike. So anyway, let me go through your chat a little bit here. Happy New Year to everybody. I see I'm getting people from around the world. That's very cool. And Ogre, the turtle head. I'm a little confused on that one. Are you talking about you? Because you do kind of look like you had a turtle head. You can bring that picture back up, Ogre, if you want me to. I mean, that's nah. Anyway, would I buy a K1600 bagger? You know, I took about a 30-mile test ride on that K1600 bagger, and I really liked it, but except for the seat. The seat was horrible. I think that if you can address the seat, that would be a great bike to have. It's just a monster when it comes to power. That the shifting on there is just butter with that assisted shifting on there. The thing is just, it's a riot to ride. It's a lot of fun. I didn't like the seat. I could barely walk after 30 miles of riding on that. And that's probably just due to, you know, my own anatomy. Maybe you guys have a German ass. I don't. I have an American ass. and the way that is, it's not really conducive to German seats. I've had to rework seats on everything I've ever ridden. And yeah, anyway, I do like the bagger. I just don't like the seat. So what else? Let's see here. Are you guys that are Pedro? Pedro, I love to see you, buddy, but I don't know Spanish, and I don't have time to put it through a translator. So put it through a translator, put it into English, and then repost it, and I'll be able to read it. Unless one of you guys out there knows Spanish and can just translate it right for me. All right. So I do have a few questions that came up on some of my videos that I wanted to just share with you guys. Do a little Q&A. One of them is it says, Kirk, great vids, awesome research, especially for the new guy. I've recently purchased an 08 K1200 GT and doing my own maintenance. Last bike was an 01 Hayabusa. I had to put it on 102,000 miles. I was wondering, is there a way to separate the side bag cover, the painted part, from the internal bag portion? This comes from Gixxer 1300X. Yeah, I don't know that question. I have not tried to do that, and I'm really hoping I don't have to try to do that on my GT. So I would think that if you're going to repaint it, you could just tape it off and repaint it and not have to worry about, you know, getting the inside of the bag covered up. You can get the outside off of there. You can unhinge it, but anyway. Another one, Terry Clemens wrote, I'm looking at a 2005 model. Is this better? Now, I think he's referring to an LT. Is it? That's really a tough question to answer. The 2005, is it better? Better than what? I'm just gonna make an assumption that he's talking about, is it better than the early models? In some ways, maybe, but in other ways, no. I don't think so. I personally like the ride and the kind of the user-friendly nature of the early models. I like the manual center stand personally. I'm not a fan of the electronic center stand. I'm also really not a fan of the geometry changes that they made in the later years, like 2002 or 3. They changed the geometry of the bike to help guys with the lower speed turning, you know, so if you're in a gas station so you don't drop it or whatever. That really, when they made those changes, it changed the geometry such that if you take your hands off the bars while you're riding, it will start going into a very violent shake, like instantly. And yeah, that's not cool. But on the plus side, they did up the horsepower a little bit. I think they changed some of the gearing. Those are a little bit faster. They're pretty good. Let's see. Crossfire. See your comment. Hey, Kirk, could you put a supply of your posters with someone in Canada? The shipping kills otherwise, and I think you would sell more of them if it wasn't the case. I would agree. I know the shipping is just murder. In fact, I just sent a poster to a guy in Norway, and the shipping was over $20 just to get it, like, you know, a 6-ounce package to Norway. If I could fold up the poster, so Crossfire, if I could fold up the poster into an envelope and you could deal with the folds, well, I could send it to you for dirt cheap then. It'd probably cost $1 to send it to you. But it's when I roll it up and I put it in one of those mailing tubes, that's when it gets really expensive. So if you want one of those, hit me up on my over at kirksmotorrod.com. Hit me up through the contact page and we'll figure it out from there. What's the best tires for the long haul? Probably the most longevity that you're going to see out of the tires is the Metzler tires. Those are going to be the longest wearing tires. That, and then followed up with the Battle Axe, the BT 020s. Those are really, really good when it comes to longevity, but I personally don't care for those tires because they tend to get slippery in the rain. They get really loud, especially that Metzler tire. That thing gets very loud as you wear it out. It sounds like a paddle wheel, I think, going down the road. And, you know, I wear a helmet and it, you know, it cuts out the wind noise, so I hear all the other things that are going on in the bike and on the road. So that my top pick right now, I think, for a properly weight rated tire, one is the Avon Storm, the 3DXM, the Storm 3 or the 3DXM. I really like that one for a radial tire. And as a bias ply pick, I still really like that Shinko tire, the 777 HD. Speaking of tires, I do hear that Avon came out with another properly weight rated tire. I think it's called the Chrome, the Cobra Chrome. Yeah, that's what it is. It might be more of a cruiser tire, but it is the proper size and proper weight rating. So it's a 79V rated tire. If some of you guys out there have any kind of experience with that tire, please let me know. I don't know that if they're going to send me one to test out. I've been talking with Avon, and sometimes they say they're going to send stuff and they don't send it, but if they do, I will bring it on here. I'll put it through its paces and give it hell. Do I recommend changing the standard hex bolts on a filter cover to a hex head instead? I tend to strip out the hex bolts. I guess really whatever works for you. I mean, as long as it's still that metric size, M5, I think that is. Yeah, you could put whatever you want in there and use it. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to. Just use a washer so it spreads out some of the force. That should be fine. Couple other questions here. Looking for a cell phone holder for the LT. Any suggestions? Ram Mount has that X one. I've used that one. I've got it on a couple different motorcycles. I also have, I don't have one sitting here in front of me, so I don't know the part numbers, but it's one that actually will expand out like this and then come down, and it's got like a couple of hooks to hold into the cell phone. You know, the biggest thing is you got to have a smaller phone. You can't have one of these really big giant fatties. You know, Dave Howard says the quad lock is a good one. I've seen his bike. Yeah, he's got a lot of Farkles and stuff on there, and definitely knows some of the tech stuff too. Appreciate that. And let's see here. I can't even read this guy's Poster. Forget it. I don't know what the guy's name is. Anyways, he had a question for anybody who has knowledge to answer. Up here in Fairbanks, the local dealership had their BMW mechanical south for the winter. That's a pretty typical thing for such a cold climate. Should I change my oil before the deep freeze or in the spring when my mechanic returns from his migratory route and I haul it in for the 12,000 mile service? I think that would really depend on where you're storing your bike. If it's stored in something that's reasonably climate controlled, you can wait. If it's not, if it's going to go through a lot of temperature swings, it's probably a good idea to change that out beforehand, just so you get all of the corrosion protection that a fresh oil change can help you out with. You know, you don't want to mess with corrosion in the engine, especially if you're going through just wild temperature swings. BT Piercy asked me, what about resetting the service light on a K1600? Guess it'll just have to stay until I go to the dealer for something. If you get one of the GS 911 tools that has the option in there to reset your service lights and indicators, you can even customize them to set it to like not throw any reminders on for 5 years or 500,000 miles. I mean, you can do whatever you want with those. They're pretty open when you get one of those tools. Unfortunately, they're kind of expensive, but it's the price we pay for riding, right? Wouldn't think about spending $400 on like a nice new helmet or something. Might as well get a GS 911 tool too. What else we got here? A guy wrote to me from Australia, asking me that he said he's currently doing the rear main seal, wanted to know what the Viton equivalent was for the rear main seal, the O-ring. That's a 19x4 O-ring, Viton ring. You can get them on eBay. You can get them from oringsandmore.com. You can also get them from probably just from a local auto parts store. But just make sure you go to an auto parts store where there's guys back there that are, smarter than like a crayon, that will not have to know what car it is and what year it is and what engine it has, and or if your diesel has spark plugs, that kind of thing. Yeah, so you can find them though. They're pretty much available. Another guy asked me on the LT. He was trying to change out the brushes or something in the alternator or the regulator in the alternator, and he was asking me how much work is it to do that, because you can't really get that black cap. You can see it on the bike, but you can't get to it to pull it off. Sadly, anything that involves the alternator is going to involve you removing the transmission and going through that whole nightmare. It's just the way it is. The LT was not really made for service, sadly. Anyway, Crossfire, one more question. As a project, would you consider doing a full change out from a stock CD player to a Bluetooth single DIN unit so we can use our phones to play music, make calls, etc.? No one else has done one complete. Oh, Lord help me. Yeah, that is not something I personally want to get into. I absolutely hate the radio on the LT, and to have to do that would be just a nightmare. I really would strongly encourage you to consider a Bluetooth unit in your helmet. Get a Sena unit, get a Cardo unit, any one of the top names when it comes to Bluetooth units. That is going to be the way to go. You're going to be able to make calls, listen to your music, and you get the benefit of wearing a helmet and getting a little bit of noise cancellation. So guys, okay, one more, Steve. Glad to see you, Steve. Bought a 2006 4 years ago. Now it's 77,000. All right. Yeah, the LTs can really rack up miles, man. There's some out there with hundreds of thousands of miles on it. Mine has I don't know, like 108,000 or 110. There's some out there that are 300,000 plus. They just go on and on. As long as you keep up with the maintenance and you keep up on you know, your repairs, things gonna keep going. Might have to do something with the paint because the paint will probably wear off by then, but hey, whatever. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna kind of end it here. Toast to the new year and the new decade, 2020. Here's the 2020. Everybody out there, have a good one. I will see you on the next one. Take care.